What is good, everyone? I'm BA and we are back once again with another reaction to the Tales from the Crypt series. This one is episode 8 of season 2 and it is called For Crying Out Loud. I've never seen this episode before, do not know what is about to happen or who is in it. Let's check it out and see what is saying to it.
I always wanted to play guitar, but I could never quite master the fingering.
The Cryptkeeper should just use that wig all the time. Makes him far scarier.
Tonight's little riff is rife with sex, death, and rock and roll. Now that's entertainment!
There isn't many Tales from the Crypt episodes that are not rife with that. Starting with an electric chair. We haven't had an electric chair since episode 1 of season 1. This guy is far more eager than the dude in episode 1 of season 1.
Huh? I got a question for you. How do you like your brains? Fried or over easy?
This guy is the most eager electric chair participant I have ever seen in my life.
There, that's it.
How long have you been hearing this, Mr. Slash?
I don't know, it's a couple of weeks, but lately it's been getting a lot louder.
So he's literally hearing a little weird voice in his head.
Well then, what is it?
This guy is instantly entering the top 10 Tales from the Crypt cheese charts, with his electric chair performance at the start, and now this. This guy is knocking it out of the absolute park on some Babe Ruth shit.
Put a little salve on the cotton swab, then gently coax it into the ear.
Why do I feel like one of them's getting shoved straight through someone's ear in this episode?
For a fucking $200 visit?
That and some advice.
Nowadays that would be like $2.5 grand. Iggy Pop getting his little cameo in. That singing was absolutely shit.
There's one fucker here we have to fucking thank for putting this whole fucking thing together. It's his fucking idea.
Dude swears way more than me, and I swear like an absolute fucking cunt of a trooper.
I think the credit really belongs to all these beautiful people.
Jesus Christ, the amount of perms in that crowd. That band could do a stage dive and they would catch them without even putting their hands up.
Chief Kabuki, please tell your brave and beautiful Amazonian people that we have put $1 million into the bank from...
I don't know if this is acceptable anymore.
Doing my thing like a sex machine! Woman, grooving! Ah! 1, 2, 3, 4!
Okay, that was some weird style that people really got into who liked metal back then. For anybody that liked metal back then, can you explain why that was cool? Cause like, if he wasn't famous and you were in a nightclub and some guy like partied the crowd in the middle of the nightclub drunk and started doing that, I mean there would be a 50-50 chance you would hit him over the head with your purse.
This money's gonna go where it's needed, alright.
Marty Slash Retirement Fund.
Damn, so he's stealing off the Amazonian stereotype.
Don't touch that money.
Who's there?
At least it's a good voice in his head.
Your conscience.
My conscience? I don't have a conscience.
Oh no? Then what am I? Talk radio?
I take it Sam Kinison is playing the voice in his head.
I've been trying to get through to you for 38 years. Boy, you let a kid get away with gluing the dog's eyes closed. Next thing you know, he's stealing $1 million of charity money.
He glued a dog's eyes closed. I hope this guy gets fucking pile drove into a bed of nails.
I've just never had my hands on this much money before!
Marty,
This guy's acting as the best though.
put the money down, Marty. Something bad's about to happen. I can just feel it. Something bad's about to happen.
You already said that.
But you didn't listen the first time, dickhead.
Listen.
Don't know if something bad's about to happen just yet.
You are the man who saved the Amazon, aren't you?
Yeah. Frankly, I wasn't expecting them to send me one of their women.
I think it's the other way around, bro. Put on some stilts and start acting like she's some sort of giant.
There must be something I can do to lighten as though...
What a considerate friend.
This was trouble, Marty.
Come over here. Tell me all about it.
Is she planning on stealing the money?
Aren't you the least bit suspicious? Think about it. What does a beautiful woman like her want with an ugly little toad like you?
His inner conscience brings up some really interesting points.
Look, babe, can we just skip the foreplay and get right to it?
I'd like nothing better, Marty.
The fuck is that?
It's for me.
I don't think I want to know.
I'm not a hooker. I'm a banker.
A banker?
You're a banker, Marty. Next in line, please.
Alright, yeah. Now you're ginger. Of course you work in the banking system. Away from outdoor sunlight jobs. That makes way more sense.
I noticed how you withdrew all the Save the Amazon money today. In cash.
Oh, she's onto him.
I want half.
Are you fucking nuts?
Yeah, this guy's performance is top level.
I could have blown the whistle on you at the bank.
She's still
And
got
don't
the
forget,
rubber.
Marty.
I don't know what she was planning on doing with that finger. I'm sure we can all assume.
That's it, Marty. Tell her.
You're a banker. Count out your half.
Smart boy.
Dumbass.
Now he's going against the voice. I wonder if the voice is trying to guide him in the right or the wrong direction.
You know who gave me this guitar? Pete Townsend!
Okay, so she's probably dead.
Oh, this is great. You're trying to fit her in there?
I like that split-legged pose she did there as she got dumped into the drum case.
You don't listen to me. Never have. I'm just gonna have to speak up! Oh! Oh!
Open it!
Sam Kinnison's trademark scream. Apparently that was funny in the 80s. Again, something else that has been lost over time.
What's going on?
We've had 30 complaints tonight so far from your neighbors about the noise. That's right, the noise.
Thinking noise complaints the least of his problems at this point.
Anything else I can do for you, officer?
Just keep it down.
Wait!
Did the voice just spit the earplug out at the police officer?
Marty, blew your chance! Confess! Oh! 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 Oh!
I mean, imagine that becoming your trademark.
Getting mighty sick.
You would just have a fucked up vocal cords your whole life.
Gently! Gently!
Fucking hell, that is not gentle.
You're out of swab! What are you gonna use now, Marty?
He's gonna John Wick himself.
Jam it way deep inside your brain, just so you can get at me!
This is fucking tense.
Here I am fucking with you. And I got a plane to catch.
So he's booking it. I don't know why, I can watch people get stabbed, decapitated, shot in the head and that. That's all fine. As soon as someone puts a pencil near someone's ear, I'm like, ah shit. Don't do that, bro.
Since you're not gonna confess, I guess I'll have to do it for you. Did I happen to mention that I killed my banker upstairs? Boy, did you see her face? She heard me, Marty. She definitely heard me.
Fucking hell, so I wonder why they can actually hear him now. Why would you whistle like that?
I killed my banker. Well, some of your pants will get the cop. Tell the cop I stuffed the bitch in Donny Osmond's glove case. What's the matter with you, Queenie? Never made pee-pee next to a psycho.
Good visual gag there. That's all I will say in this day and age about that joke. Good joke. Let's move on. The joke was good.
Confess! Confess!
No wonder this guy's going absolutely insane. He's got a voice in one ear and Iggy Pop singing some shit in the other ear. I feel like I'm adding to it now, talking over him. I'm like the third voice he's hearing.
What are you looking at me for? I didn't mean to kill my banker. All I wanted to do was steal the Amazon money.
Okay, so his voice was bullshitting him.
She tried to get half of it. I couldn't let her do that.
You could have. You didn't have to bludgeon her with a guitar.
Hey, what's that in your ear? Oh.
Ah, that's brutal. Ah, fuck. I knew one of those things was going in someone's head before the end of this episode.
Something just occurred to me. Do you think that's what everybody was looking at all the time? And they can never really hear me?
More fool you, Marty. More fool you.
Is this any way to spend our last moments together?
Yes, sir, man. That's him.
He hasn't even touched his last meal. This dude has just driven him insane.
Hey! Don't waste your breath. He's deafer than a doornail.
Now he's deaf, and the only thing he can hear is this voice. Okay, so that was episode 8 of season 2 from Tales from the Crypt, For Crying Out Loud, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. Okay, so episode 8 of season 2, For Crying Out Loud. What did I think of that? First of all, I loved the concept of this one because I've never seen anything I can remember like it, really. There probably has been things like it in stories or film, but nothing that I've seen where a guy's inner voice slowly drives him insane, forces him to confess to something, obviously plays with him as well, makes him think that everyone else can hear him and stuff like that. When people were just shocked at the, I forget what they're called, the little earbud thing sticking into his head. I don't know how he didn't notice that. Surely that would have been the first thing he noticed. I also like the concept that it was centered around music and some music promoter who was ripping off some money and shit. It was a clever little setup. Seemed like it would have been actually quite easy to film as well. I'm always impressed when there's a script that's like only got a few locations but manages to still be interesting. This one basically just took place up in his office above the nightclub and below on the nightclub floor. So technically that's an outside the nightclub. So literally you could have filmed this whole episode in a nightclub, for example. Just rented out a nightclub or something for filming purposes, could have filmed this entire episode there. So for those reasons it would have been quite cheap to film. And I'm always impressed when you can write a script that's both good and would be easy to film. It's something me and my friends are constantly struggling with. My friends, I know, like Theo Kane, independent filmmaker, you know, we're constantly trying to think outside the box how to make something very good while at the same time on a shoestring budget. It's not easy to do. Obviously Tales from the Crypt has a decent budget with its special effects and whatnot. I'm just pointing out the fact that the actual script itself was quite clever because it could have been filmed by any sort of budget really if you read it off paper and it would have still have been good. I liked the guy's acting as well. Definitely one of the best cheesy performances ever. He wasn't taking it serious at all. Made the episode so much better for the fact that he wasn't taking it serious. His performance just knocked it out of the park for me just because of how ridiculous it was. He brought the episode into the realm of ridiculous. Everyone else kind of played it sort of normal almost. Well, not normal, but no one else played it over the top. So he stood out like a sore thumb. And then on top of that, his over-the-top performance, and now he's got Sam Kinison, of all people, in his fucking head, screaming. Completely see why he went insane by the end of the episode, completely justified. If I had Sam Kinison in my head for like 15 minutes, I would have just shot myself in the face, because dude has got an intense vocal tone. I know a lot of people really highly regard Sam Kinison as a stand-up comic. I'm a big fan of stand-up. I'm not trying to shit on Sam Kinison, rest in peace. And I know in his time he knocked out of the park. Just for me personally, it's not my type of comedy. But I still found it funny because he was almost placed in this episode as irritating. You know, he was the irritating voice that irritated and drove the guy insane until he fucking was willingly sitting in the electric chair strapping himself into it. So it worked well in this episode. I was just making a point about Sam Kinison's comedy. I'm sure the metalheads would have liked Iggy Pop popping up in it and seeing all the rock references and stuff. There's something about the era of 80s rock which is quite like, it's dope. It seems like the nightclub atmosphere would have been dope. That setting reminds me of so many classic 80s movies and shit. As soon as you see just a bunch of punked up people in a metal club in the 80s with smoke machines going off and shit, it's just got its own very distinct look that's like a dope thing that I associate with 80s cinema. All in all, I thought this was a great little episode, another dope addition to Season 2, which has just been absolutely amazing so far. Season 1 I thought was great, but Season 2 so far has already trumped it, and we're only like, I think, almost halfway through now, but it's just ridiculous how consistent, for the most part, Season 2 has been. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on For Crying Out Loud. If you have liked this video, click like. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more reactions like this one, or if you want to get notified as to when reactions are coming out in the future. If there's anything you want to talk about from this video, or anything you want to see me react to, just comment below, and share this video around to anybody you think might appreciate it or want to watch along this series with us. Also, if you would like to become a Patreon, I now have a Patreon, the link is in the description as well. If you become a Patreon, you're supporting me a lot. You get access to polls that help vote on what I'm going to watch in the future. You get to see these reactions that I put on YouTube like 4 weeks in advance, I believe it is, up on that Patreon. And also you get access to the full length versions of all my reactions that I put on YouTube. You do need your own copy to watch along with me on those, but you still get access to the full length reactions. So check out my Patreon, and if you would like to become a Patreon, that helps out the channel a lot. So, till next time, I have been BA, peace.